Through their diverse perspectives and mediums, these artists delve into the complexities of belonging, inviting us to reflect on our own sense of identity and connection and discover the powerful stories and ideas that emerge when creativity meets conversation. We now talk to Madeleine van Manen, the painting and printmaking artist, for more on this exhibition. A very good morning to Madeleine. Thanks for joining us. Welcome to Morning Live.
Good morning. Thank you for inviting me.
Now, the theme of where do we belong really is a universal human question. So how do you hope visitors will respond to the exhibition's exploration of this particular theme?
Well, I don't really want to dictate what people should experience, but from my point of view, it is amazing how such four diverse artists from very different walks in life found an overlap and a connection. And to me, that is part of belonging in society, is discovering what is our overlap, what is our connection, and how amazing it is that we can all be so different, but we are here for the same reason, to create a better life and to find that belonging and affinity for a place and society, and for that place to have that same affinity for us.
And can you walk us through the process of curating this exhibition?
Well, that was actually quite an interesting thing. When we were first selected, we were all thinking, our art is so different. How are we going to make this work? But the moment we started talking, there were so many common words and common concepts that we discovered. So it, in the end, came together quite naturally. And the way that it was displayed as well by the mentor and curator, worked out very well. So it's a wonderful exhibition full of storytelling.
And I see Lionel Mbayiwa, Rentia Retief, Kenneth Ndumiso and yourself are all accomplished artists in their own right. So what really inspired the selection of these four artists for the Promise?
Sorry, what brings?
What really inspired the selection of all these four artists for The Promise?
The selection process is quite a complicated one. You have to be invited to apply, and then a selection committee of experienced curators and artists select you. So we don't really know how we were selected. So we were, out of 100 artists, we were the four chosen ones.
Now, Madeleine, the intersection of creativity and conversation is a very powerful catalyst for social change. How do you envision The Promise contributing to this dialogue?
Well, I think because we explore such different things, we are all living in a city, different cities. Kenneth lives in Durban and the rest of us are Cape Town based. But everybody in this city and in every city, whether you are super wealthy or destitute, we are all here for the same reason, to make a better life and to chase our dreams. And there is always that promise of tomorrow will bring a new opportunity, right, or tomorrow will bring relief.
And the question of belonging is very deeply personal and complex, I would say. How do the artists in The Promise navigate this complexity in their work?
Well, for me personally, being part of the city, you are part of almost 5 million people in Cape Town. And yet when you walk in the city, you can feel so alone and so quiet, sometimes in a good way and sometimes in quite an unhappy way. And the same with Kenneth. He talks about people who come from rural areas to the city to make a better life, and it's a struggle for them. With Rentia, there is that solitude that she finds in nature. And with Lionel, there's the question of the spirituality and making a connection there. So for everyone, there is a sense of solitude and a search for belonging in a space.
Yeah. And having said that, I see that the exhibition's focus on storytelling and ideas has the potential to resonate with a wide audience. And what do you hope visitors will take away from this experience?
I hope that they also see that that there's an overlap and a connection in terms of what we're all seeking and how do we long to belong. So, like I said, I don't want to dictate to people what they need to feel. They should come and see and maybe respond.
And can you discuss the ways in which the artists worked together to develop their contributions to this exhibition?
Well, we were all working quite separately in our studios with regular conversations and regular connection. And it was a very enriching experience to have that connection and the conversations with the other artists, but still sticking to what our identity without changing how we work and the way that we portray our message.
And what's so heartwarming about those kinds of conversations is the exchange of knowledge, exchange of information, and I would imagine there's so many lessons that you've drawn from each other. So what are some of these lessons that you've got from the other artists in your interactions?
I think for me, with the work of Kenneth, for instance, he kind of, I eliminate most images of people. I work with buildings, I distill everything. And he works specifically with the people. So it's almost like he works with the people that I don't include in my paintings. And while you're busy with the process of painting, whether you are religious or not, there is some kind of spiritual application from your own soul. So that connection with Lionel and Rentia, with their different explorations of how they belong and where they belong, that was very interesting and very enriching.
All right, Madeleine, lovely chatting to you. All the best in this exhibition. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Have a lovely day.
Thank you. You too. That was Madeleine van Manen, painting and printmaking artist, talking to us about the Promise exhibition and the experience of the powerful stories and ideas for people to enjoy.